Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel for another video. Today we are going to be homeschooling together. I am going to do a homeschool with me video. Typically when I film my day in the life videos, I will show a little clip of us homeschooling, but today that's all we're going to be focusing on in this video is homeschool stuff. I recently had quite a few questions on how I'm doing history notebooking with my youngest daughter, and so I thought that it would be good to share with you guys an updated kind of homeschool with me video. Obviously, my homeschooling days are going to look very different than someone who has 4 kids in elementary school or even down to preschool. My youngest is in middle school, and then I have 3 high schoolers. So that's what we're going to be doing today, and I want to thank Equip Foods for powering me through all of life's demands. I cannot wait to share them with you later on in this video. So good. And I shared them last month, and many of you guys told me how much you love their products as well. So really excited to share them with you guys, but that's what we're going to be doing today, a homeschool with me video. It is Monday, so it is the first day of our homeschool week, and obviously I won't be able to share everything in the video, but I will try to show you guys at least a decent look at how things are going, and then I will focus a little bit of time on sharing about the history that I am doing with my daughter. Anytime you break outside of a specific curriculum mold with a specific schedule to follow, people have a lot of questions, and I love curriculums that you follow day to day. Do not get me wrong, you guys know if you watch my channel, I definitely love that, but sometimes it is okay to do something a little bit different and just do something that they enjoy. And so anyways, that I'm going to show you guys that later, but I hope you guys enjoy coming along and homeschooling with me on this Monday. All right, we are getting ready to start with our morning time together, and today for Monday, signing into World Watch, we're going to read a few pages out of this book right here. I recommend this for teenagers, and this is written for adults, but little kids probably couldn't grasp it. They have their individual Bible studies, and these are the ones that we're doing right now. Gratitude journal, a daily devotional, and then this. And then we are doing a Christmas Carol, the novel study. So we're not doing this every day, but today on Monday we are. So we are going to listen to some of that book. So we're going to get started with our morning time now. You guys, Equip Foods is sponsoring today's homeschool with me, and I have fallen in love with this brand. I have their Prime Protein, I have their Core Colostrum gummies in the flavor raspberry, and I have their grass-fed collagen, which is amazing, you guys. I've never been able to tolerate another collagen until I tried Equip's, and it is amazing. So they have an entire product lineup that is so worthy of checking out, especially if you are someone like myself who values your health, who values the ingredients that you are putting into your body. A few months ago, I made the switch over to Equip's Prime Protein, and I am telling you guys, I've seen a noticeable difference in how my body digests this Prime Protein. They have it in a ton of different flavors: chocolate, vanilla, caramel, coffee, and there's a few, I think there's strawberry. I haven't tried that one, but I absolutely love the chocolate and vanilla. I'm a simple girl, but I love the vanilla because this you can put into pancake mix, muffin mix, you can bake with it, you can put it in a smoothie with fruit. I like my fruit smoothies, like berries and whatnot, to have vanilla protein. And then I love the chocolate one just by itself. The chocolate one tastes like a very unhealthy fudgesicle, but obviously their ingredients are incredible and unmatched. So let me tell you guys a little bit about what sets them apart ingredient wise. So per scoop in here, you're getting 4 ounces of grass-fed beef. This protein is grass-fed beef isolate, powder. So it is the same way that you would digest 4 ounces of steak or 4 ounces of lean ground beef, and your body absorbs it so much better and digests it so much better. There are no fillers, there are no additives, there's nothing awful in here at all. In fact, the only ingredients, which I'll put a close-up for you guys, is the grass-fed beef protein, organic coconut cream powder, natural flavor, and stevia extract. That is all that is in the vanilla. And it is delicious, you guys. Packed with 20 grams of protein per scoop. I even will sometimes double up 2 scoops in my smoothies and get 40 grams of protein to carry me through my homeschooling days. So I cannot sing their praises enough. The quality, the ingredients, it's the cleanest protein on the market. You guys can get 20% off your order with my code GRACEANDGRIT. That's gonna get you 20% off of anything. So you can grab all this stuff. It is absolutely delicious, all of it. However, there is another way that you can save even more money. Stack on top of their subscription discount. So that's gonna give you 35% off of your products. They are priced incredibly already for the quality. Please remember, pricing is reflected in quality. You know, a $15 tub of protein that's filled with junk is obviously gonna be less. So when you look at it, that's an amazing way to save because they really do have it priced so fairly to begin with. You guys, it's a game changer. You need to check it out. So I'll leave the links down below. Don't forget, you can use my code GRACEANDGRIT, 20% off, or stack it on the subscription. That's gonna get you 35% off, and it works site-wide, not just on their Prime protein. So all the information to equip will be down below, and thank you so much for sponsoring this homeschool with me. All other needs are of a different sort. We can also identify needs both for love and for those things that sustain life. They are natural and God-given desires that are intended to be kept under control and to be outranked by our need for Jesus. God has given us the desire to have love in our lives and the desire for things as we become older with regards to relationships. Those things are natural God-given desires, but all of those desires that God has given us are to exist within the boundaries that He gave us. Because anytime we operate outside of the boundaries that God has given us for those things, and we elevate our need for love from someone else, or our need for physical attention from someone else, or our need for approval from someone we care about outside of the boundary that God has given, then we leave ourselves to be ruled by that thing, ruled by that person, ruled by that desire, ruled by that sexual lust and impurity, ruled by whatever it is. So the desire for that is something that God actually gave us. It is not wrong to want to have a relationship in the future with someone. But anytime we put that person or that thing above God, and it's never really a conscious choice. You don't go, today I am going to put this above God in my life. It just kind of happens if you're not aware of it. And then what happens is the power then is given to that person or that thing over you. And even if you don't realize it, everything you're doing and thinking about is how to seek the approval and gain of that person, or how you're going to get more of that thing that you think that you need. When ultimately, those desires are good things from God, but they have to be controlled. That's why that scripture in Corinthians said to tame your body. You're not to be controlled by your desires. And anytime we don't have things properly aligned in our lives, this is what happens. Marriages have all kinds of problems. So if you put your spouse in the place of God, you're going to be let down, because guess what? Your spouse is not God. So that is the summary of what we read today. And then the next bit is the psychological aspect to needs. Carol. Perhaps you've been wondering why there hasn't been singing in a book with the names such as Christmas Carol. Well, except for God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, which ended rather quickly as Scrooge approached with his ruler to scare the poor boy away. No, in fact, the book is actually not about a song at all, which seems quite odd given the title. We are happy to inform you, however, that there's a special reason for this. Let's see if you can try to solve it. Who recognized what term Charles Dickens used instead of chapters in A Christmas Carol?
I don't know. It was like some weird word.
It's called a stave.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a chapter, it's a stave. A stave is the British term for staff, and the staff are the horizontal lines and spaces that represent different musical pitches. Like when you read music and the lines go like this, that's called a...
Nora yesterday was trying to teach me about this. Yeah.
I bet she didn't learn.
Kylie, the camera's on. So now we have a book titled A Christmas Carol, along with chapters that are called staves, but a story full of pages that are not actually about music. It's okay if you want to scratch your head in confusion.
That face of Marley, 7 years dead, came like the ancient prophet's rod and swallowed up the whole. If each smooth tile had been a blank at first, with power to shape.
Scrooge asked the question because he didn't know whether a ghost so transparent might find himself in a condition to take a chair, and he felt that in the event of it being impossible, it might involve the necessity of an embarrassing explanation. Do you remember that?
Yes.
But the ghost sat down on the opposite side of the fireplace as if he were quite used to it. Scrooge dislikes the possible embarrassment that comes with asking a ghost to sit if Marley is unable to do so. Throughout the book so far, nothing embarrasses Scrooge, and he certainly doesn't care about the embarrassment of others. What extra information do you think this paragraph tells us about Scrooge's personality? Do you really think he is as hard and careless as he seems to everyone, or do you think he cares about what people think?
He cares.
All right, so we have finished up our morning time. It is about 10:20 right now. It's a little bit later than we typically get finished with this portion of our school day because we didn't start our morning time together until 9 o'clock. Yesterday we had Friendsgiving over at a friend's house, and so we were up a little bit later and then getting things going on Monday morning. So we spent about 90 minutes together going through our Bible study, daily devotional, prayer, the biblical book that I'm reading with them, and then we moved into the novel study that we're doing on A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. So now everyone is going to have their snack break, and then the older three will go upstairs and begin on their independent work, and my youngest daughter and I will be down here, and then I just kind of go back and forth as needed throughout the day for each of my high schoolers. So that is where we're at, and that is a typical routine for us. The times of course change depending on how much reading we do or don't do, but I wanted to make sure we got to our Christmas Carol study this week because we have, I think, every other day this week. Tuesday, maybe not Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, we have homeschool things outside of the house. So I wanted to make sure that we got to that this week. So that's where we're at so
Your
far.
body. 1 gram of protein gives your body 4 calories of energy. We give proteins to...
All right, we've come to our point in my youngest daughter's school day where she is gonna do her history lesson. So I shared in my Q1 homeschooling update about why I went back to utilizing literature and doing just a literature-based history instead of using a curriculum. So if you want to hear the why I did that, then you can go watch that video. So I'm not going to go into that here. But this is the book that she is going to start today. She chose it because it has turkey and we are getting close to Thanksgiving. I purchased all of the books that she's reading from Sunlight. I just purchased the books. I didn't get anything else. And it is their American history set. So that's what the books are on. So far this school year, what I've done for notebooking with her is I made a list of 7 different narration exercises she could do. And so she'll choose these intermittently throughout the book. I don't have her do them every day because it's not needed to do it every chapter, but I'd say we do 1 or 2 during the book. And then at the end, she writes me a complete summary. So these were just some ideas that I had. And so I wrote them down there. And so through the year so far, she has chosen what to do. So this one was the story of Harriet Tubman, and she drew the map that was very well described in the book about how it was set up. Then she wrote me her summary at the end. She loved that book. 3 things she learned. Then over here, this one she chose to do, this book was called A Summer of Sundays. She chose to do questions that she would have asked. This book was called The Sign of the Beaver. She chose to do similarities and differences between herself and the character. Then there's her summary there. This one, the questions that she wanted to ask a character. This book was called Blood on the River. And then her summary. Let's see. She did a comic strip for this one. This book was called Casto, and a summary there, and then a complete summary here. Then she read some shorter books. They were kind of like picture-ish, but they had facts in them. This one was on Phoebe the Spy, and then this one was on Benjamin Franklin. So that she's read a lot of books so far, probably about, I don't know, 6 chapter books about this width. So we're doing really good. She's loves to read, and so this has been enjoyable for her. Have you been enjoying doing history this way?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Which book has been your favorite you read so far?
The Harriet Tubman one.
Yeah, I lent that to my friend, or I would show you guys the cover, but it's called The Story of Harriet Tubman. I'll link to it in the description box, but this is the one she's going to start today. So obviously when she starts a new book, I'm not going to have her do any narration exercises because it takes a little bit for the story to build, for her to have questions or understand the setting. But once she's, I'd say, 3-4 chapters in, then that's when I'll have her do a narration exercise. So it's not regimented, and it's just more natural, but literature-based history is awesome. And having your kids read living books is also awesome, and it's something that I've loved doing. We used to do history this way in our homeschool a long time ago, and so it's been fun to come back to it with her, because I do believe that this is the best way to instill a love of history in your kids, is by them reading really great stories. So that's what we're doing, and I hope that's helpful for those of you who had questions. What is this essay supposed to even be about?
I didn't really tell you. Just like write things that are like simple, and then you're just supposed to like type about them.
No. So it's how small things can have a big impact on your life. That's what it was supposed to be about. And that's what it said. So that's what the whole essay was about. So just because it's informal doesn't mean that you don't use proper punctuation. So informal doesn't mean write like a crazy person. Informal means that it can be a little bit more silly and like your opinion can be more involved rather than having it be like facts and scientific. But it doesn't mean that all of everything that you know how to do with writing goes out the window. Also, as you can see, it has an opening paragraph and then paragraph on this, a paragraph on this, a paragraph on this, and a paragraph on this. So that would be a 5-paragraph essay. Remember. Yeah. And the closing paragraph, it has to be about 5 sentences.
Oh, I feel like it could be short.
It can be short, but in general, 5 sentences is a good rule of thumb to have. And remember, we don't ever want to use in our conclusions, well, I hope you learned something from reading this essay. No. And then in our opening paragraph, what do we need to have as the last sentence of that opening paragraph? A thesis, which is going to organize our paragraphs and tell the reader what the paragraphs are going to be about. So we need a thesis at the end.
So then what goes in the beginning? Like the statement, question,
Yeah.
fact, what is that?
Yeah, you can use that to start your opening paragraph. Or you can even do something simple that says, living a healthy life isn't as difficult as some may think, period. It can be found in having good daily habits, like then you know the organization of your following paragraphs, and that can be your thesis. So we're missing a lot here. And then the other thing is that, for example, all right, a little check-in for you guys. It is 11:45 and my high schoolers are working upstairs independently. I just finished going over her language arts with her, so she's moved on to math, which for the most part she's doing independently at her grade, which is 7th grade. So she's using Math 7 from The Good and the Beautiful. So she will work unless she doesn't understand something, and then we'll discuss it and I'll explain it to her, and then she'll work. When she's done doing math, I always check it instantly and then have her make corrections. So while she's working on math, I will make lunch. So like right over here, but just gonna get lunch ready for them. We take turns in my house making lunch on school days, but Monday is my day. So I'm gonna make them lunch while she continues to work on math. And everyone else upstairs is just working diligently. So that's where we're at, 11:45. So take away x, right? Take away 1x. This cancels out. Now this would be 2x plus 12 equals 12. Now, what?
Does x equal 6?
Yes. No, plus 12.
Oh.
So what do we have to do? So that's gonna be it for this video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed homeschooling with me. If you have any questions about anything that you saw, please leave them down below and I will get back to you guys. Make sure you check out the links to Equip Foods. Their protein is absolutely delicious and unmatched when it comes to quality and clean ingredients. And don't forget, you can use my discount code to save on everything on their site, not just the protein, although I highly, highly, highly recommend that. So thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you again soon. Bye.